2 cups is 2 packages of dots. We're gonna cut all of these up into smaller pieces. Okay, so I think the easiest way to do this is just to take a knife and just separate, or not separate, but cut each one in half. Next thing we want to do is prepare a pan. So I have my parchment paper, an 8x8 pan, and I'm cutting for the corners. Just like, oops, I missed. Just like so. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a microwave safe bowl. This is my favorite one. I got it at a thrift store, but I will put a link in the description below if they still have one similar. I don't know if they do or not, on Amazon. You want 2 tablespoons of butter, and then you want 20 ounces of chocolate chips. So this one happens to be 9 ounces and this one happens to be 11 ounces. So just check your chips. It's basically 2 bags of chocolate chips. I wonder if there's a difference in the flavor in these. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna test this. Let's see which one is which. Okay. Okay, so that's Full House. This is Ghirardelli. Wow, this is much better. Much more expensive though. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna combine that with 2 10-ounce packages of mini marshmallows. But I have these marshmallows left from our campfires over the summer. So I am going to put 10 ounces of these in here because I need to use them up. Hold both packages of chocolate chips. This is 10 ounces of the big ones that I used up. So what I'm gonna do is get this all started melting, and then I'm gonna add the rest of the chips. Then you wanna be sure to stir in between so you don't burn any of your chocolate. You can also do this in a pan on a double boiler if you want.
Double boiler?
Double boiler. Do you know what a double boiler is?
No, I don't.
It is a pan. It's where you take a pan like this, put water in it, and then you take a bowl and put it on top and put your ingredients in here, and it slowly warms it without burning.
Oh.
That's what a double boiler is. All right, now we're getting down. So I'm gonna add my next bag of marshmallows. So it acts like my white chocolate is trying to seize up on me. So I'm just going to go through and keep stirring until I can get the rest of the chocolate melted, or the marshmallows melted, so that the chocolate doesn't get too hot. White chocolate will seize if it gets too hot. I don't know, everybody says this is a microwave candy, but I'm not. Well, maybe. Let's see, are we getting there? You can't diddle around because once it starts cooling, hot. Okay, so now let's get all of our candies. Then I'm going to leave some to decorate the top here. Let's see some of the smaller ones to decorate the top. Okay, now Here's a little trick. When you have something sticky, spray your fingers. You can just press it in the pan with your fingers. Ooh. Well, I think it's gonna work. Okay, so now let's decorate the top. Try to make sure, like, if you were envisioning cutting it, that every piece has a little piece on top. You may not be able to be that particular, but, you know, just kind of look at what you're doing here and think, does this piece have a piece of candy? What do you think, Jack? Do you think this will taste delicious?
Looking good.
Is it looking good?
Yeah.
I think you guys will love it. I think you guys will love it.
I think maybe.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Littler pieces. There you go, Jack. Thanks for filming.
Yes.
Okay. So now we're gonna let this set up and then we will cut it. And do not put it in the refrigerator. Just let it set up at room temperature. Okay. It has been 4 hours, and I think, do I dare give this a try, dear?
Looks like nougat to me.
It is supposed to be nougat.
What?
Do you think that it turned out as nougat? Is it too soft still? The question is it too soft? No.
Aren't nougats
Um,
kind of soft? Well, they're not soft.
Well, so I'm wondering, this is a trick to make it cut easier because it is a very sticky candy. Oops, well I didn't cut that very straight, did I? Oh my goodness, holy cow. No, I'm not drinking anything. That's the better size, right? Or wrong?
Depends on how many calories you want.
Okay, it's a recipe test.
I love jelly candies.
I know. I've been
Oh,
having
I
a
hate
hard
to
time.
take off this pile. It looks so pretty.
I hate to I've had to fight the boys to keep from eating it, but it's a recipe test, so. Is it good or no?
It's very good. I noticed interestingly, and maybe it's just because it's fresher, it's more poofy than the nougats that you buy at the store, like around holidays and stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Really good. It's really, really good.
Do I test? I love nougat candy. It's stuck on my tooth.
Yeah, that's the problem I was having.
I would definitely cut this in smaller pieces though. I think this should be 2 pieces. That's good.
It's really good.
Oh, that's really good.
Yes.
Okay, is this a recipe success?
Yes, it is.
Delicious? Not a disaster?
No, not a disaster at all. This is amazing.
Okay, as I was dishing this up for the neighbors, Mike said it is.
I said of all the Christmas candies you've ever made, this is probably one of the top 5.
So right up there.
It's way high,
The
yeah.
Cool Whip candy, which you may or may not have seen by the time this video comes out, is also, he says that one's probably number 1.
Yeah, the one
Wow.
that, the Cool Whip candy is the one you call the Three Musketeers. Yeah. Oh, it's
That's
amazing.
your favorite,
It's
huh?
my most favorite, yeah.
Well, there you go. Cookbook Volume 1. We are making toffee. This is another Christmas candy we have made for, well, the 50 years that I've been alive. Probably longer than that. Right in here I have a 1/2 cup of butter, which is 1 stick melting. Then I have my brown sugar. Oh, seriously? 1/3 of a cup. Let's see, how many 1/3 of a cup are in 3/4? 1, 2, okay. Let's hope this works. 1. Now, as always, these recipes are in the description below. Okay, so now we got our sugar and our butter, and we're gonna bring this to a boil on medium heat. All right, my toffee is coming to a boil, so while that's happening, I've lined my baking dish with a used cookie. See, it's got grease, but it's fine. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's not staying down very well, but that's fine. I cut the edges so that they'll go in there. Then we're going to, I did the parchment paper so that it'll lift out of this dish because I've never used this dish before. But if you're just using a regular metal pan, you just need to grease the bottom of the pan and then just sprinkle your nuts on the bottom of the pan. Oops, well that didn't work. Now I'm using almonds. You can use peanuts or walnuts if you want. Okay, I don't know if this pan's going to be the best pan or not. That's a little too many almonds. Okay, we'll see how this works. Ah! All right, so now it is starting to come to a boil right there. Now, you have to watch this carefully. Once it comes to a boil, you're going to let it cook 7 minutes. But you have to be careful because if your heat is too high, it'll start to burn. So stand here and watch it for the 7 minutes. And if you start smelling or seeing it get really, really dark, then just take it off immediately, pour it in your pan because usually you can save it, okay? So now we've got it on medium and we're turning it down to low. And we're going to let it finish boiling on low for 7 minutes. All right, we have 1 minute left. I turn off my stove at 1 minute because I have an electric stove and just let the residual heat finish cooking it so that it doesn't burn. But we have about 30 seconds or so left, I think. And I'm watching it really carefully. You can tell if it's going to burn because it gets really dark around the edges. Now, this is dark, but I mean, it starts getting darker. And if that happens, just take it off immediately and pour it in your pan. Because usually it's not burned yet. If you start noticing it, that it seems like it's burning, just take it off right away. And you can probably save it. All right, there it is cooked. Yum. All right, so now we're going to drizzle it in our pan. Oops, there's my timer going off. Oops, oh dear, I missed. Okay, then just take your spoon. Now this is super, super hot again, so don't burn yourself. Then you're going to take your chocolate chips, and I like the mini ones because they melt quicker, but you can just use regular chocolate chips. And just sprinkle those on top. Whoops, or a lot. Then what I do is I take a baking sheet and I set it on top, and that keeps the heat in to melt the chocolate chips just for like 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to let those chocolate chips melt, and then we're going to spread them. Okay, can you see how the chocolate chips are melting? I'm going to let it stay for just 2 or 3 more minutes. Melt the rest of them. Okay, let's test the spreadability. Probably should leave it just a minute more, but I'm going to spread some of it out and get the ones that are done. There. Oh, yum. Okay, we're going to let that cool, and then we're going to crack these, and you will have delicious toffee. Hello, today I'm making my 2-ingredient fudge. This recipe is in our Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 2. You can see we have our 2-ingredient fudge with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 ways to make 2-ingredient fudge. Super easy recipe, guys, really. 1 bag. Now it must be 12 ounces. You can use any kind of chips you want. You can use peanut butter chips, white chips, mint chips, peppermint chips, any chips you want, but they have to be, even cherry chips, 12 ounces, okay? So make sure you have your 12 ounces. And then we're gonna put that in our bowl. So to make the fudge, take our sweetened condensed milk. Get this all out. Then we're going to put this in the microwave. Although I've never microwaved in this bowl before, so I don't know if this is going to be a good idea or not.
We don't want any unexpected things
I
on the
know.
recipes.
Okay, there we go. All right, so every 30 seconds to a minute or so, just go in and stir it. I love my gnomes. Now, the reason why you stir between each microwaving is so that it doesn't burn on the bottom, because microwaves do not evenly cook. So that's why you have to stir things to get the heat distributed. Perfect. Okay. All right, that looks very smooth and creamy and fudgy. Does that look fudgy?
Man, it smells amazing.
Then I'm going to grease my pan. This is an 8x8 pan. Then just spread it out. Then you're going to refrigerate it after you get it spread in the pan, just like so. If you have room to refrigerate it. Okay. Now, if you're like me and live in Wyoming, you can put it outside also. There we go. All right.
Treats for the deer?
Yes.
And the bears?
Yes. Okay, so let's cut a piece here. Christmas is complete without Aunt Donnie's peanut butter balls. Now, you could make these into peanut butter cups if you want, but it's a little bit more work. I just do the peanut butter balls because it's easier. Now, my butter was frozen, so it didn't stay out long enough to get it defrosted. So what I'm going to do is throw this in the microwave and just give it a short burst to defrost it. Check that it's not totally... I check every 10 or 15 seconds just to make sure it's not totally just mush. You don't want it mush, but you do want it softened. It's okay if there's a little bit of it that is liquid, but you don't want it all liquid. Perfect. So I think my butter is softened. Let me check if it's softened in the center. Not really. Okay, so I'm going to put it in about 10 more seconds. Okay, I did 15 seconds, but I think that'll get it softened. Okay, got my butter, softened butter in here. So we're hauling out the big guns today. This thing I've had for 20 years. I love it. Yep, that's all softened. So now we need a cup of peanut butter. Now, recipe is linked in the description below. I get a lot of people who say, where's the recipe? You didn't give the ingredients. No, because I make you go to our website to get it so that you can just print it out all nice and neat there. So it is in the description below. Now, people ask, can you use expired food? Yes, you can. This is July 2024, and right now it's October 2024, and we are still using this peanut butter, and it is just fine. Peanut butter does go rancid in your pantry quicker than other foods, but you still have 6 months to a year after the expiration date. Okay, just a titch more. All right, there we go.
So with 6 months to a year, how can you tell if it's bad?
You'll taste it. You'll know. It will not taste like peanut butter. It'll have an off taste, but you'll recognize it. Okay, this all in there. Now we need our powdered sugar. All right, for you guys wondering, this is where I keep my extra. Isn't that cute? My Pepsi crate that I got for free on the side of the road. That was a good deal. Then I have scissors. We want 2 cups of powdered sugar. Now I'm not going to dirty another measuring cup. Yes, I know this is liquid and not dry, but for this recipe it doesn't really matter. Okay, scrape all the rest out. Oh my goodness, this is so delicious. This recipe is in our Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1, on page 336 if you want the peanut butter cups, or 337 if you want the peanut butter balls. This was my Aunt Dottie's recipe that was given to Grandma, that was given to Mom, that was given to me. Easy recipes that will help you save money on your grocery bill that your family will love. Get your copy in the description below today. Oh, and I forgot my vanilla. This is my homemade vanilla from Dining on a Dime, Volume 1 also. This is a great Christmas present. I am almost out. Dear, it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year. Well, Mike calls it a melon baller. I guess it is a melon baller, but I was going to say ice cream scoops, but yeah, it would be a melon baller for this size. I love these little scoops that have the little flippy thing on there because it just comes out really nice and neat. Then I just take and now I'm not doing these perfectly, and I'll show you why. Because what I do is after I put them on here, then I go in and I just roll them. This just gives it a measured amount so they're all the same size. Okay, now I'm going to go through and do all these, and then we're going to pop them in the freezer. Okay, now the never-ending question is, where do I put it in the freezer? Oh boy.
You can take off my ice pack and it'll fit right on those flat boxes.
Oh, there. Okay. Mike's knee ice pack, and it will fit right there. Thank you, dear. See, that's why I need you around. Okay, now we're gonna let these cool for, I don't know, 30 minutes or an hour, and then we're gonna come back and dip them. Okay, there's the ice pack if you need it. Do you guys like my dresser that I put in my pantry? I got this for $25 at the thrift store, and I absolutely love it. Okay, now we got our melting wafers, which I paid $1 for these on clearance after Christmas. So check the clearance aisle after Halloween, Christmas, and Valentine's Day. You can get these 50 to 90% off. One year I got 90% off, so instead of $5, it was around, what would that be, 50 cents, I think? Is that right?
I didn't hear that.
They were really cheap. 90% off of $5 is 50 cents, I think.
Yeah.
So I got them for 50 cents. I think I paid $1 for these. So that's a great way to save money on your Christmas candy making. All right, I need to explain something about why the recipe is written differently than how I'm doing it. So you can see here, Grandma and Aunt Donnie and Mom all used 1 packet of chocolate chips and 2 tablespoons of paraffin wax. Why did they do that? Because dipping chocolates were not available when this recipe came down to my family. So you can get the dipping chocolates, or you can get a box of paraffin. I got this one at a yard sale. It's probably $3 or $4 now. And all you do is just take, well, maybe, I think those melted together, but it's fine. All you do is just take and scrape 2 tablespoons of your paraffin in your mixing bowl here, or I mean your measuring cup here, just like so. Now this will last forever. I mean, I'm not kidding. I had paraffin that I used for 20 years before I ran out of my Christmas baking, so it's fine. It's not going to go bad. If you're worried about eating wax, guys, it's not a big deal. You'll just poop it out. You won't do anything. It'll just slide right on through, all nice and smooth. So just don't even worry about it. But that is probably getting close to maybe just a little bit more with my 2 tablespoons. And then I would just pour in my chocolate chips and just melt as normal, about 30 seconds, and stir every 15 to 30 seconds after that, and keep stirring so your chocolate doesn't burn. Now, since we're all, what century are we in, dear?
21st.
Since we're all 21st century and not the 1900s anymore, we're just going to pour all of our melting wafers in here and get these melted and start dipping our peanut butter balls. So I know it's crazy because you're like, Tara, nothing has really melted. Why are you stirring it? To release some of the heat so that the inside down here doesn't burn. Oh, yum. Now don't go more than 30 seconds, guys, because you'll burn your chocolate. I know it's a slow process, but in real time it's only like 2 minutes. Make sure you get clear down to the bottom, because the bottom always seems to warm up faster than the top. I don't know why. I don't know my microwave physics. Okay, so that last time I just did 15 seconds because I don't want to burn it. Very good. Okay. Now, this is not as thin as I would like it. I want it actually a little bit thinner. Well, maybe I should warm it up a little bit more. Man, that's pretty hot. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, because it's not quite as thin as I want, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of coconut oil. You could use shortening instead if you want. Coconut oil, I just like it better because it gets hard, and so it makes a nice, more firm coating. But thin it down just a bit with either shortening or coconut oil. Yeah, there we go. That's more the consistency that I want. So if your chips aren't thinning down, just add your tablespoon of shortening or coconut oil. Ooh, beautiful. Oh, doesn't that look delicious? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, it has been about an hour. Ooh. If you guys heard the saw, it was my son outside finishing his tiny house. He's making a bus into a tiny house. Okay, now let's think about this here. How am I going to do this? Okay. All right, so I don't want to waste my parchment paper, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and move them all to this end. Okay. Then we're going to start dipping. Now, a viewer sent me these for dipping chocolates. Oh my goodness, they are so darn tootin' cool. I'm going to leave the link in the description below for you if you want to try them. But if you don't have this fancy schmancy thing that's so cool, you can use a toothpick and just dip and tap it. There you go. Set it on your baking sheet and then just take your toothpick and just fix the top there. I'll show you how we do it with this little jobber. Put it in there, stir it around. Now I do like this better because it comes off cleaner, but oops, there we go. Okay, now we're just going to do all of these peanut butter balls. Now you might have to go halfway in between or even a third of the way and re-warm your chocolate because it does cool down. If you want to double dip, you can. I don't, but here are your peanut butter balls right here. And all right, I'm going to taste test because you don't like peanut butter, so this is mine. Okay, this is probably my favorite Christmas candy. 10 out of 10. Delicious. Thank you for watching our entire video. We are going to give you our Dining on a Dime cookbook ebook volume number 1 free at livingonadime.com. Click on our shop, click on our ebooks, click on Dining on a Dime volume 1, add it to your cart. When you go to checkout, use the coupon code DINING1 and you will get our ebook absolutely free with no obligation and no strings attached. Visit us at livingonadime.com. All right, we are making haystacks. This is Mike's favorite Christmas candy. Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1, right here, page 334. Now, you can use chocolate chips for this. I like using the candy wafers because they set up a little bit harder. If you have chocolate chips and you don't want them to be, you want them to be a little bit harder and not soft, you can add a tablespoon of either coconut oil or a tablespoon of paraffin wax for canning. I know it seems crazy, but yes, it is food safe. That's what they use to like make your apples all shiny and that kind of thing, okay? You'll just poop it out, don't worry. All right, here's the wafers. Boop, just like that. Now we're gonna throw them in the microwave. Okay, first initial melting. Okay. Okay, almost there. All right, looks pretty good. Okay, get this all smooth. Oh, does that look delicious, dear?
That looks delicious. And the candy too.
Oh, thanks. After 30 years of marriage, we still flirt with each other. Okay, back to cooking. Get focused here, dear. Get focused. Okay, then you pour in your coconut, just like so. You can use sweetened or unsweetened. I prefer sweetened just because, you know, you can't have too many diabetic comas at Christmas time. Okay, that's not really funny, but it is. All right, then I'm going to take my cake pan. Now, you don't have to use parchment paper. You can just spray it with cooking spray or use a Silpat if you want, but I've got my Silpat making my peanut brittle, so I'm just going to use parchment and just spoon haystacks on the pan.
You can buy ones about twice this size at the vacation stores for like $12 each.
Or you can make your own for $1. Oh no, I mean, my goodness, that's probably, well, that might be $1. Well, no, this whole recipe is 1, 2, 3, 4. I got these on clearance for 50 cents. So this whole recipe is like $2.50, $3. So there's your big, gigantic monster one, dear. How does that make you feel?
Good. Tara usually makes the smaller ones so we don't eat too much.
Yes, that's why. Okay, so now we're just gonna let these cool and harden, and then we'll eat them. If you guys are loving this video, would you please give me a big thumbs up saying you like it, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hit all notifications so you can get more recipes like these. This next one is in our Dining on a Dime Cookbook Volume 2, Peppermint Bark. Now, I'm not gonna make it like this picture. I'm gonna make mine a little different. But if you want it like this, all you need to do is just do a layer of chocolate and then a layer of white and then the candy canes. I'm doing an M&M one for my kids. You can use almond bark, but you can see I got this on clearance after Christmas last year. Good deal. I have found these as low as 20 cents a bag. 10 days. So like January, it would be January like 5th or something. 90% off, okay? All right, we're going to melt that in the microwave. There, isn't that cute? Oh. So the reason why you stir it, once again, is because you don't want it to burn, and microwaves don't heat evenly. So that redistributes the heat. Here, want to say hi to Rudolph? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. All right, there we go. Nice and smooth, nice and smooth. All right, that looks very nice and smooth. Okay, like I said, I'm not making the peppermint. My boys like M&Ms, so I'm going to do an M&M one for them. But what I'm going to do is put about 2/3 or so in on the pan. Just like so, just spread it out fairly thin. This one I'm not adding any flavoring. If you want to add flavoring, just do it before you spread it on the pan. Okay.
You don't have to grease the pan.
Nope, you don't have to grease the pan for this because there's enough oil in the bark to not stick. Okay, so then we're going to put the food coloring in. And it's all mixed up.
Smells yummy.
Ooh, that stiffened up the, I probably should have done the other kind of food coloring. Okay, that's not working like I had anticipated. Oops. Well, that kind of food coloring does not react very well. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take our M&Ms and turn this into 2-ingredient. That's funny. I've never...
What were you doing with it?
Well, I was going to make red swirls, but I've never had it. Of course, I don't know that I've ever used it like that.
So the red swirls, you would have just swirled it on the top with the paddle?
Yes. Would have just put in there. I think you need the liquid food coloring. Okay, there we go. Here, we'll move this one. Oops, or not. Okay, so we'll move a couple over here so there'll be a little bit more in that piece. Okay, now we're going to let this set up, and we've got peppermint bark. So under variations, I made the M&M one right there. M&M Bark. Okay, so we have our haystacks. They are set up. Look at that. Okay, now this is Mike's favorite. I'm going to test. Okay, that's pretty darn tootin' good too. Pretty good, huh?
This is my favorite candy. I absolutely love this stuff. It's interesting. Sometimes Tar makes it with soft coconut, but this was a dehydrated coconut. Interesting, the dehydrated coconut gives it a crunchier texture, which is kind of cool too.
Yeah. The next recipe we are making is cherry mash. Now this is an old-fashioned candy. A lot of people may not know what this is, but it's cherry and chocolate and peanuts, and it is so delicious. You can still find it now and then, but Dining on a Dime Cookbook Volume 2, variation right here, cherry mash. So that's the one we are making for this. Now, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get your peanut smasher, and see, this is like so cool. And you just put your peanuts in and go around, and then they fall down to the bottom right there. See all the peanuts going? Isn't that cool? And if a peanut gets stuck, just go back and forth until it gets unstuck. Okay, so we got all our peanuts smashed up here. Have the kids do this part. Get the very last one. Just kidding. Okay, so for this fudge, we're going to take our white chips here. Ooh, that's only 11 ounces. So what I'm going to do is leave out just a little bit of the sweetened condensed milk. So I forgot the sweetened condensed milk, so Mike ran downstairs and got me this. No, he actually got me this, but he was just being a ding-a-ling. Okay, so to make the fudge, take our sweetened condensed milk. Now look at that one's darker. But this can is fine. Huh.
I wonder if it's just a little older than the other one or something. Or a different kind of sugar.
No, it's not expired or anything. Okay, so now because this is only 11 ounces of chocolate chips, I'm only going to put, I don't know, see, I'm leaving about that much in there. I'm not putting all the sweetened condensed milk in, okay? So we're going to melt this. Okay, so while this is microwaving, let me explain. They don't really make cherry chips anymore. You used to be able to get them all over, and now you can't hardly find them. So if you can find cherry chips, get cherry chips. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the white, add some red food coloring, and some cherry extract, and that's how I'm going to get my cherry flavoring. All right, I think that's going to be pretty good. All right. Could be slightly warmer, but I think it's okay. Okay, so now we're going to add our red food coloring and some of our cherry extract, imitation cherry extract. I don't know, probably, I would say 1/4 teaspoon probably. Oh, isn't that pretty? Mm-hmm. Doesn't that look all Christmassy and Christmassy-y? Now, this is a silicone 8x8 pan, just so you guys can see how that works. I'm going to put our cherry in first. Doesn't that look delicious? Yeah, I would say about 1/4 teaspoon of cherry flavoring. Okay, so now we're going to take chocolate chips, and I'm not going to do a whole bag. I'm going to do probably 1/3 of a bag. Just like so. We're going to melt these. Yes, I hate dirtying bowls when I don't need to, so it won't hurt anything to put it in the same bowl. Yes, it will melt on the next stirring. You don't have to be real particular with this, in case people are wondering. Can you tell I'm not a very particular cook?
Still turns out amazing though.
Aw, thanks. And you're not just saying that because you have to.
You're right. I could have just kept my mouth shut.
No, you couldn't have. Because you love me too much.
I should be saying that.
No, you couldn't have. Because you love me too much. Right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Looks like it's seizing up on me. Shoot. Okay. Since it looks like it's trying to seize on me just a little bit, I am going to put just a tiny bit of coconut oil in here just to soften it up. Here, let's see if we can get it running again. There we go.
Is that because of the kind of chips they were?
It's because the bowl got too hot. The bowl got hot and the chips didn't. So the bowl got too hot and made the chips too hot, which is kind of a different situation I've had. My goodness, I've got every baking mistake going on in this video, don't I? Yeah, probably a glass measuring cup. This was not the best bowl to do this in. Very interesting. Okay, so got it smoothed. Now we're going to add our peanuts. Yeah, like a glass measuring cup or something might be better to do this in. Okay. Then, probably should have let the bottom set up, but we're just going to chunk it on there. Oh, yum. Yeah, we're not going to be exact because we want some of the pink showing through. Okay, I have to admit this is one of my favorite candies too. Now, if you want thicker chocolate, you can. Do a thicker chocolate if you want, but all right. Then we're going to take a few peanuts and sprinkle a few more peanuts on top, just like so. Okay, and just push those in so they don't fall off. Oh, yum. Okay, now we're going to refrigerate this and let this get hardened. All right, we got our almond bark here. Now, I just take my pan. You can see it just pops right off. Then, just break it into pieces. Now, there's all the variations, guys, you can make. You can make a whole almond bark platter. Ooh, that would be yummy. All right, there we go. Okay. Should I do a taste test? That's delicious. I know it's such a dumb, easy candy, but oh my goodness, it's so good. Yum. 10 out of 10. Dining at a Dime Cookbook Volume 1. Turtles. These are so good too. I remember when I worked at the fudge shop. Do you remember meeting me in the fudge shop, dear?
I do.
Oh, and then we said I do.
Yes. Like 2 weeks later. No, I'm just kidding.
No, let's see. We got married, what, 6 months after we married?
Yep.
Don't recommend it. Do you recommend it? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I recommend it. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right, now I will say this was one of my favorites at the fudge shop. They used macadamia nuts instead of pecans. So you could use almonds, pecans, macadamias, whatever you want. And you just turn, I'm going to do the traditional pecan. Just turn them around 3 in a row, just like so. Oh, I made a poem there.
Oh, you do 3? I thought you did 5.
Yeah, 3.
I was thinking 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head.
Well, is that how they do them in the, I don't know. We always did 3 at the fudge shop. Let's see. 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head, like that. I guess that would be a turtle, wouldn't it? I don't know.
They were downsizing at the fudge shop.
What? Oh, with the 3? That's funny. Okay, that's disturbing me. I'm sorry. That's not a proper turtle. Okay, there we go. Normally you would put like 1 caramel in there. At the fudge shop, we melted the caramel and then we put little dollops on there. But if you don't want to dirty another pan, which I wouldn't, I just take these little caramel things. What do you call them? Caramel bits. And I just put them all on here, and then we're going to put these in the oven and melt it, and then they'll all melt together. Okay?
Isn't this a no-bake video?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm baking it, aren't I? Yeah, well, the no-bake part is I melt the caramels. Hold on. You're right. Okay, we've got our little bowl. Putting my caramels in. Now, if you want, you can place these on the baking sheet and bake it, and let the caramels melt. So if I do that, I just put like 1 like this. You can do it that way if you want. But to make it no bake, I'm going to melt my caramel in the microwave. Okay, I'm running out of spoons, so I'm getting down to the down to the wire.
Little trolley spoon.
So Mike said I need to say we're just going to dig right in and make some turtles.
Got to mix it up with your spade. No, is that a spade or shovel?
It's a
shovel.
I don't know. Is the flat one a spade? I don't know. I am second guessing myself now. Okay, there we go. Nice and melted.
That's soft enough.
Not really. Well, might be. Ooh, yum. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's do it a different way. Ow, that's hot. There's the caramel. There's caramel. So then what I'm going to do is plop that puppy right in the center. There.
Which way did you do it at the candy shop?
This way, actually. I just had forgotten since it's been 30 years. All right, because I'm getting tired and I didn't make enough caramels here. I'm just going to show you how to do this. Okay, so I got my chocolate chips and we're going to melt these. Okay. All right, here we go. Now, you can dip these, but I'm just going to spread it on. Oh, yum. See, the beauty of this is that I'm the only one that'll eat these. Except I can't eat them because they have milk. Oops. All right. There's your turtles. Yum. Then we're going to let this get hard, and I'll show you the final product. Okay, we have our toffee. See how beautifully that just comes out? Now, you can just break it up with your hands, just like so. Oops, I didn't let it sit long enough. Oh, I didn't cook it long. I should have cooked it like 30 seconds longer. So here's the thing. See how it's a little, see how mine isn't just crunching? Here in Sheridan, we are literally right on the line of high altitude. So some things work at regular altitude and some don't. So if you're at high altitude, I should have cooked this another 30 seconds longer and it would be crispy. Or not crispy, but what do you call it?
Crunchy.
Hard crack. But it's perfectly fine. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. Let's taste it. Yep, it still tastes really good. Okay, we have the cherry mash fudge. Ugh, yum. Oops, it should have sat a little bit longer. I cut it too soon. Okay, that's fine. Oh, that tastes just like cherry mash. That is so good. Or you know somebody who loves cherry mash, you gotta try this. I hope you guys love these Christmas candies. Please go watch this video next, and we will see you guys next time.